Diets don't work, like for real, for real. They don't work at all. And today I'm going to teach you why. So first and foremost, I am Crystal Ray. I am an empowerment coach and a life balancing strategist, and I help busy working women stress less by helping them live a more holistic lifestyle. And this topic of diets, for one, I hate diets. I don't like the word diet. I don't like the idea of dieting down. I don't like that phrase at all. I think that it's pointless. And so I'm sitting here as somebody who has done multiple different diets, except all of my diets came as a result of seeing different doctors. I have spent a lot of my time going to see different holistic doctors for various health reasons, and every single doctor that I went to gave me a diet that fit in with the program that they were giving me. There were times where the only thing I could eat was animal protein, vegetables. That was pretty much it. There were other times where I ate eggs every 3 days and still was mindful as to other things that I was eating, cutting out sugars and a lot of other items. My most recent diet in 2016 cut out every single food that my body reacted to. So I had done a food test in which I was tested for food sensitivities, and I was sensitive to so many things, including garlic, which eating out when you can't have garlic becomes a whole other ballgame. Everybody cooks with garlic. So for an entire year, I went without a really long list of foods because my body was sensitive to them at the time. That was probably the one diet that I would agree with the most. The reason behind it is because it was personal to my body. I was cutting things out depending on what my body was reacting to. So, maybe that one I'll let it slide. But this whole concept of dieting, I really don't like it. What I'm about is about creating a balanced, healthy lifestyle. And so figuring out how to eat in a way that serves you, allowing yourself to have some foods that may not be the most optimal, best foods for you, and then also eating the foods that are the best for you. It's about having that happy medium and finding that balance where, you're doing both. Extremes don't work, especially when it comes to food. And I'm an extreme person. So I'll experiment with my food all the time. And currently I am plant-based, gluten-free, soy-free. I try my best not to eat a ton of corn and definitely no eggs. And it's what's working for me right now. But I'll tell you, if I want a gluten-free vegan brownie, I'm gonna have one. If I want some gluten-free vegan pizza, I'm gonna have that too. So I'm not limiting myself. I will still allow myself to have processed food items. But let's get back to this whole idea. Why don't diets work? Well, one, emotionally, diets are so draining. It takes so much willpower and dedication and energy to avoid foods that you don't think you should be eating. Like so much. It's taking a lot of your strength and inner willpower to withstand that diet. Now, here's the thing that happens. On a daily basis, how many things are you resisting? How many things do you have going on? How much stress is happening in your life? What is really going on? Well, if you look at it this way, that willpower that you have starts to dwindle. And that's one of the reasons why we have this diet mentality, and we go into a diet and we're like, yes, we're gonna get it. And then maybe by the end of the week, we're falling off of it because we're so stressed out during the beginning of the week, or we have used up all of our willpower. And now we're at this point where we're just like, oh my goodness, I'm just gonna give in. This craving is so intense, I'm just gonna give in, okay? And when it comes to cravings, I did do a video on 5 reasons why we have food cravings, so definitely check that out, and you'll see some of the reasons why you might be experiencing cravings and some of the suggestions that I have to combat them. But from an emotional standpoint, when you tell your body or your mind, don't have this or don't do that, it's just going to want more of it. So coming from the negative, coming from the lack perspective, isn't serving you. It's actually doing the opposite, and it's making you want something more. It's like if you tell somebody, don't do this, and they're just like, oh my goodness, I just want to do that. If you say it to yourself too, it might be something that you never ever wanted to do before, and now all of a sudden, because somebody told you no, you can't, it's all you want to do. It's crazy, but it's how we work as human beings. It's how our mind works, so we have to be aware of that. Another reason why diets don't work is because every single person is an individual. Every single body is truly unique. And so a diet may have worked for your best friend or for your mom or somebody else that you know, But that diet that worked for them may not work for you because your body is different. Your body type is different. Your emotions are different. Everything that's going on for you, you are somebody different. So there is no one size fits all diet that works for everyone. And there's over 100 different diets out there. Like so many, it's unreal. When I learned about all of them, it was just like, holy crap. There's a lot of different diets out there. The diet that's going to work the best for you is going to be eating in a way that makes you feel your best. I personally enjoy intuitive eating, so that's eating foods that feel good for me. Every time we eat, our body is telling us what it likes or what it doesn't like. So if you eat a food and later you get a headache or you get congested or you get bloating or an upset stomach, you might wake up puffy. Other physical ailments, a sore throat, hives, rashes, etc., that is your body saying to you, hi, that food that you just gave me didn't work. It didn't sit well. Please don't give that to me again. So what happens is that we have to start paying attention and start to tune in to our body so we can hear when it is giving us this feedback. And that's the tricky part of it, is sometimes we're just not paying attention. And our body's screaming at us. It's saying, listen to me, like flashing, like, I don't like this, I don't like this, please stop. But you're so accustomed to feeling the way that you're feeling that you don't even notice it. Another thing that happens is that when our bodies are accustomed to us giving it a lot of junk food and a lot of processed food and just all these things, our body is having a very challenging time getting rid of all that other stuff. And it can't even process what it is that you're giving it. So a lot of times you may not realize what you're being sensitive to until you strip away everything else, do what I call an elimination diet, which it's temporary. It could be 5 days, it could be 2 weeks, but a time period where you take away certain foods and then you reintroduce them and you see if you're having a reaction. What happens with food reactions is that they can happen 3 days after you eat something. That's a long time. So when you do a reintroduction phase, you don't just add foods in all at once. You space them out. So you could see, okay, what has happened over the last 3 days. When it comes to food though, you might also be experiencing an emotional roller coaster. I know for myself, when it comes to gluten, it really does increase foggy brain. It really does impact my moodiness. So I'll be on this emotional roller coaster and I feel like I'm all over the place and I'm like spinning. And really it's because I'm eating gluten. I'll start to feel more depressed. I'll start to feel more lethargic. And it's just what gluten does to me. But you may not recognize that you're not feeling well until you take the food item out. And so that's where all of this becomes tricky. That's why we gotta take a step back. So when it comes to food, it is so personal. And just because a diet worked for somebody else doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. The other reason why I don't like diets is because sometimes people just use it as like a quick fix. They just wanna do something right now, get the results that they want, and move on. Well, what happens once you get your results? Then what? You might be back to where you were before you did that crash diet. And sending your body into that type of mode is not healthy. That's not something that we want to do. We don't want to ever starve ourselves just because we have this goal. There is a way for us to get to that goal without having to crash diet. So I'm really about figuring out how to live a lifestyle that works for you, that has you maintain the body that you want and has you feel good. And I'm really about eating in a way that makes you feel good. And that's why I think food is so amazing, because foods make us feel different types of ways. They have that power, and food is so incredibly healing. So when it comes to dieting, it's not where it's at. Like, doing a diet, it's not serving you. You are way better off figuring out how to eat in a way that makes you feel good and makes you feel your best. And so that includes drinking more water, at least 2 liters of water a day, eating more vegetables, eating more fruits, eating more unprocessed foods. When I say unprocessed foods, I mean when you look at that food item, you know exactly what it is, where it came from. It looks like a tomato. It looks like an apple. You see it. So as a health coach, I help you figure out how to eat in a way that makes you feel your best, which ends up reducing the stress in your life. And that's what I love the most. I love helping you figure out a way to eat that makes you feel good, because I know food really is that powerful. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me, if you think diets are complete crap, or if you think diets rock and you're just gonna keep on rocking with them? Let me know, I'm really curious. And if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe so you never miss another video again. And until next time,